Our next finisher is Matthew Greer from Durham, Maine.
I think that's
Matthew raised $400 for Team Hunter.
There were a group from Bates came over earlier, but they either started early or they were in a different length of race. They were not going as fast as that guy.
Yeah, he was moving.
And that's a respectable time for a 10K. Maybe they'll hold the signs up.
Here comes another.
I would like to see those signs too.
Our next finisher is Andrew Murray from Falmouth, Maine. Andrew raised $200 for Team BNN.
How far are you zooming in?
Well, it only goes to 300.
If I stand over here by the sign tag, is that all right?
Nice job.
Our next finisher is Darren Fischel from Portland, Maine.
Who else do we have joining us?
What's that?
Where are you from?
Kennebunkport.
Oh, okay. You shooting for them?
Yeah.
Great.
Are you?
maine-running-photos.com. Do the whole state.
You finished line this year. Sorry. Right here.
Right there.
Our next finisher is David Thomas from Gray, Maine. David raised $6,081.43 for Team Orange Dragons Against Cancer. Our next finisher is Sam Powell from Nobleboro, Maine. Sam raised $150 for Team Lorraine.
You gonna make sure there's no traffic coming through here?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Our next finisher is James LePage from Denver, Colorado.
It's a long ways to come.
James raised $301 for Molly's Marshalls. Up next, we have Patrick Schrader from Arundel, Maine, and Bob Collier from Coylton. Next up, we have Christina Burkow from Portland, Maine. Christina raised $200 for Team Molly's Marshalls.
Crowd doesn't seem to be as quick as.
Up now, we have Bradley Smart from Portland. Raised $150 for Team #Maddie Strong. Our next finisher is Christopher Rugulis from Lisbon, Maine. He raised $170. For White Barn Inn is Ryan Fox from Kennebunk, Maine. Up next, we have Jake Surratt from Georgetown, who raised $210 for Colby Lacrosse. Next up, Christopher Hutchinson from Scarborough. Emma Lee Wheeler from Launceston, Maine, raised $480 for Bates Rowing. Brian Daniels from Launceston, Maine is our next finisher. Our next finisher is Charles Tabor from Uncasville, Connecticut. Raymond Randall is up next for Mercerburg, Pennsylvania. He raised $150 for Team Sioux, US-UK. After Raymond Randall comes Sarah Ferris from Minot, Maine. Next up is Matthew Karen from Litchfield, New Hampshire, followed by Andrew Wells from Durham, Maine. Adler Vighton from Greenwich, Connecticut, and Owen Mitchell from Launceston, Maine. Next up is Ryan Kelly from South Portland and Bruce Condit from Auburn, Maine. Ryan Kelly raised $150 for Molly's Marshalls. Our next finisher is Lauren Phillips from Belmont, Mass, who raised $150. Next up is Emily Eastman from Hamden. Crossing the finish line now, we have Joe Perryman from Launceston, who raised $1,560 for Team PT Bilodeau Insurance. Nick Antonellis from Milford, Mass, who raised $215, followed by Giovanni Gallara from Dallas, Texas, who raised $250. Brian Marston from Green, Maine, followed by Abby Marston from Green, Maine.
They're probably related.
Adrian Regulus from Lisbon, Maine. Hanny Henrik from Portland, Maine. Patty McDonald from Auburn, Maine. And Lawson Martinez from Patterson, New York. Dan Corbeil from Elliott, Maine, who raised $250 for
Nice
Team
dress.
Sioux US UK.
She's with you, right?
Huh?
Is she with you?
Anthony
No.
Vecchio from Hoboken, New Jersey, who raised $175 for Team Sioux US UK. John Courts from Lisbon, Maine, who raised $150. Tori Dyer from Auburn, Maine, and Ben Condit from Gorham, Maine are now crossing. Joe Britton from Gorham, Maine. Isabella Sobolewski from Chevy Chase, Maryland. Sarah Lapin from Portland, Maine. Pat Sugaru from Hollis, Maine. Jeffrey McAndrew from Kennebunkport. Nathan Cook from Lewiston, Maine. Emily Claire Duffy from Belmont, Mass., who raised $150 for Bates Women's Track and Field, followed by Casey Snow from Lewiston and Megan Seymour from West Hartford, Connecticut. Thomas Perot from Portsmouth, New Hampshire is crossing the line now. Next up is David Milner from Scarborough, raised $230 for Team White Barn Inn. We have Larry Gluck from Greenville, South Carolina, and Sheena Marischal from Lewiston, Maine, followed by Evan Flynn from Harpswell, who raised $120. Thank you, Evan. Jen Corbeil from Elliott, Maine, raised $360. Matt Bennett from Kennebunk raised $280 for Bennett's Bunch. Jennifer Green, getting ready to cross the finish line, raised $150. Sailor Struger from Boulder, Colorado. Mary Trafton from Hopkinton, New Hampshire, followed by Benjamin Fusco from Harpswell, Maine. Peter Manning from Wyndham. Jennifer Jordan from Auburn, Maine. Kelsey Willett from Reedfield. Tish Caldwell from Portland. Ryan Darby from Darien, Connecticut. Nick Litchfield from Green. Gavin Holbrook from Turner. Kaylee St. LePage from Bright Bridgeton, Maine. Grace Bake from Lewiston. Kenneth Sawyer from Peabody, Mass. Samantha Reed from Scarborough, Maine. Rosie Crawford from Lewiston, Maine. Aaron Buck from Eagan, Minnesota. Sydney Paul from Wellesley Hills, Massachusetts. Ben Bowles, Auburn, Maine. Lydia Roy from Waterville. Leslie Witham from North Waterboro. Timothy Bath and Sarah Smith, both from Kennebunk. Willard Norick from Middleborough, Mass. Mariana Emery from North Yarmouth. John Marr, Falmouth, Maine. Celeste Emery from North Yarmouth, Maine. James Charest from Auburn, Maine. Daria Lee from Lewiston. Casey Winter from Lewiston. Joe Stevens from Buffalo, New York. Eloise Botka from Lewiston, Maine. Mary Dumont from Gray. Laura Singer from Cumberland Forside. Katie Farber from Middlesex, Vermont. Casey Scorvon from Portland, Maine. Matthew Roca. And we have our first survivor, Rebecca McDonald from New Gloucester, Maine. Running with Shane McDonald, also from New Gloucester, Maine. Michael Butler from Lewiston, Maine. Kenneth Fairbanks from Lisbon Falls. Nora Condit from Auburn, Maine. Charles Dart from Greenfield, Massachusetts. Ainsworth Kohler from Westbrook. Holly Gotteshagen from New York City. Thomas Brooks from Lens Hartsville, Pennsylvania. Sadie Poulin from Lewiston. Katrina Eastman from Hamden, Maine. Margaret Horvat from Philadelphia. Maeve Mikuliski from Lewiston. Michael Anderson from Portland. Kelly Browning from Lattensbury, Connecticut. Whitney Condit from Auburn. Ellie Wargo from Killsworth, Connecticut. Jess Gearin from Brunswick. Katie Forbush from Winchester, Mass. Simon O'Brien from Gray, along with Jillian O'Brien. Jen Roberge from South Portland, Maine. Emily Rosso from Hingham. Maggie Lento from Falmouth. Elizabeth Davis hailing out of Portland, Maine. Sean Shields from Cumberland. Ann Lento from Falmouth, Maine. She raised $1,200. Adam Foster from Lewiston, Maine. Hannah Starbird from Hollis. Lauren Dowling from Falmouth. Sean Cox from Brunswick, along with Richard Karen, also from Brunswick. Amy Morissette from Derry, New Hampshire. Haley Mulherron from Livermore, Maine. Amy Morissette from Derry. Matthew Morissette from Derry. Jen Lucy from Portland raised $1,000. Ann Mayer from Brunswick. Ann Stoles from Cumberland Forsyth. We also have Abby Mitchell and Sarah Mitchell from Lewiston, Maine. Jennifer Granger from Brunswick. We have Sunny Howell and Allison Battagini from Atlanta, Georgia. Derek Hyde from Hooksett, New Hampshire coming in now. And Carol Mahoney from Indian Purchase Township raised $1,640. Amy Finn from Jericho, Vermont. Nathan Couture from Bedford. Daniel Fournier from Lewiston. Chloe Robinson, North Salem, New York. Sadie Esley from Doxbury. Kristen Allaire from North Waterboro. Peter Mansfield from Cambridge, Mass. Gabe Peckler from Newton, Mass. Eric Ma from Brunswick. Jessica Richland from Lewiston, Maine. And Landon Bilodeau from Auburn, Maine. Jeffrey Lees from Middleborough, Mass. raised $425. Mary Brusso from Standish raised $275. Bryce Cobb from Wayne, Maine. Maura Train from North Yarmouth. Dorian Cohen from Wellesley, Mass. Annie Boasberg from Washington, D.C. Jess Giorgio from Belmont, Mass. Olivia Ware from Westport, Massachusetts. We have Sam Ryan, Madison Hanson, Rebecca McKinley, Lori Hyde, Adrian Shibbles, Anna Corey, Tess Prensky, Elizabeth Eliza Dean, Olivia Harwood, Catherine Beaumont, Gianna DePinto, Olivia Sanford, Samantha Gum, Nathaniel LeBlanc, Jennifer Marr, Kayla Luparello from Bedford Hills, New York, Grace Toner, Maureen Heads, Angela Martell from Scarborough, Corey Booyah from Portland, Julie Allen from Florence, South Carolina, raised $250. Sam Steibel from Falmouth, Maine, followed by Kelly DeShanes out of Topsom.
Are you with the event?
We also just had a survivor, Murray Heeds from Durham, Maine, cross the finish line. Justin Hadley from Topsom, Maine, who raised $1,000 for Team Wayfair. Henry Durant from Wayne, Maine, along with Trisha Dunton from Wayne, Maine. Krista Oppenheim from Wayland, Massachusetts. Jason Schlossler from Boot Bay Harbor. Followed with Caden Wilson from Augusta, Maine, who raised $150 for Team Purdue Universal. Jane Lapsley from Portland, Maine, raised $1,035 for Team Wayfair. Followed by William Green out of Waterville, Allison Sear, Sonia Walker, and Sarah Machucci. Flying along now, we have Andrea Tomer, who raised $200. With Joanna McKay, Christopher Jones from Litchfield, Kara Moxley, Carly Pilata from Great Falls, Virginia. Sean Walker. Allison Roots, Casey Cunningham, Ashley Ronzo. Amanda Cohen, a survivor from Brunswick, crossing the finish line. James Smith, another survivor from Cumberland, Margaret LePage. Allison Bryant and Charlie Frederick from Bowdenham, Maine. Crossing now, Bonnie Pratt from Minot, and Paul Anderson from Lawston, who raised $150. Roseanne Mann from South Paris crossing the finish line, along with Abigail Leeming, who raised $1,405 for Eddie Strong. Patricia Rossi and Mike Omazaric from Auburn, Maine, crossing the finish line. Chelsea Tibbetts from Auburn, Maine. Olivia Pancintenti. Carolyn Sweeney from New Canaan, Connecticut, who raised $500 for Bates Jungle Cats, followed by Anna Burrow, Katie Sherman, Erin Campbell, Jessie Smart, Hannah Smart, Lauren Jennings, who raised $800 for Colby Lacrosse, Isabel Paulus, Avery McCollum, Talia Rufus. We have a survivor, Joseph Corson from Milford, Mass, crossing the finish line. Jennifer Beecher, Miranda Mahoney, Emily Talca, Melissa Campello, Sabrina Rabins, Mary Farknoff, Chloe Santucci, Julia Mazer, Kristen York, Maya Session, Nina Carter, Amy Willette, Shannon Healy, Emma Banks, Melinda Eddy, who raised $400 for Team Colby Lacrosse. James Kaser from Scarborough. B.R. Delaney from Wardsboro, New York. Hannah Berry from Gorham, Paige Ritchie. Kirsten Kinney from Lisbon Falls raised $354 for Marcy Strong.
There you go, Johnny!
Isabella Garcia Moreno from Baltimore. We have Maddie Murphy, Hannah McLean, Matthew Charest, Ann Conway, Eva Lee, John Carl, Carolyn Kerrigan, Jennifer Riggle, Rachel DePatula, Katie Vanote, Kit Hensler, Andrew Histom, Lance Dorian, Caitlin Fowler, Lori Clucci, Sarah Marquis, Riley Eaton, Bailey Scott, Jamie Rothfuss, Bernadette Kroon, Lisa Sawyer, and Renee Anderson from Bedford, Mass, crossing the finish line. We now have Sharon Perry, who raised $405, followed by Ann Clucci, Karen Narhamunti, Alicia Knowles, Mark Winship, David Moxie, Kate Denoya, Isabel Doron, Mary Jacks, Laura Becker, Katie Bold from West Kennebunk raised $150, crossing the finish line. Grace Houghton from South Portland, and Christina Saunders from Turner, Maine. Zoe Kennedy and Renee Lindsay from Lawston, Maine. Judith Brothingham from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Alex Manis and Lindsay Campbell from Mechanic Falls. We also have Judith Brothingham from Fort Mill, Chris Como from Richmond, Maine, and Emily Lowell from Scarborough, Maine. Melinda Barlow from Bedford, Mass, along with Megan White. Jonathan Gagne, Madison Rivas, Keith Cowett, Kelly Libby Saroy, Chris Grant, who raised $500. We have Janet Marcotte, AJ Lyle, both from Lewiston, Ashley Holland, Kathleen Wing, Jana Botka from Naples, Leon Campbell, Chris Beggs from Portland, Sheila Harvey and Cynthia Shove from Yarmouth, Maine. Cynthia raised $150 for Team Molly's Marshalls. Peter Guffin from Freeport, Maine. Peter raised $150. Leslie Bowery from Winchester, Virginia raised $150. Shay Gosen from McDonough, Georgia. Courtney Sandelion from Bedford. Conrad Martell. Robert McCarthy. Julia Slane. Samantha Lyman. Morgan Cates. Deborah Avashti. Ricky Pease from Skowhegan. And from Oxford, we have Desiree Record and Allison Manis. From Durham, Susan and Daniel Erlandison. Stephen Drotar from Arlington, Massachusetts. Casey Carson raised $150, hailing from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Shelley Schrader from Kennebunk Crossing. Followed by Lori Woodley from Gray. Lori raised $245. Kelly Jennett from North Yarmouth raised $180. Angela Pillsbury from Durham, followed by Matt Sutton from Scarborough. Will Dodge, Wanda Pillsbury, Jesse Shears, David Patch. We have a survivor, David Patch, crossing the finish line. Matthew Koza from Yarmouth raised $1,070 for Team Marcy Strong. Colin Englert from Jamaica Plains, Mass. Derek Campbell. Doreen Goldrup, Kathy Hayes, Michael Jones, Eleanor Botka, Peggy Gomont, Jeremy Benson, Carl Steidel, Aaron Burham, Carrie Jadoud, Peyton Gagne, Becky Burns, Kevin Robichaud, Kate Rooney, Wendy Robichaud, Erica Masterson, and Karen Bollier from Oakland, Maine, crossing the finish line. Lindsay Walscott raised $1,165. We have a survivor, Lindsay Walls-Ott from Saco, Chris Ney from Norway, Stella Stone from Providence, Noah Adams, Kate Welch, James Natto, and Chloe Fitz. Taryn Jordan from Livermore Falls, Chanel Cardone from Biddeford, and Nicole Glazier from Nottingham, New Hampshire raised $150. Annie Eddy from Cheshire, Connecticut. We have Chelsea Hurst from Nashua raised $1,094 for Concentra. Gianna Bruno from New Canaan, Connecticut. Also from New Canaan, Olivia Schwartz. Chelsea Hurst, Lisa Clark from Litchfield. Brooke Washer, Stephanie and Jean Cody from Lewiston, Maine. Jean raised $225 for Team Family Matters. Michael Gagne from Lewiston, Maine raised $160 for Family Matters. Julie Brown from Wyndham raised $1,765 for Concentra Care. Next up is Natalie Adams, and coming in arm is Jessica and Allison McDonald from New Gloucester. Ken Darby from Bath, Maine, and Stephanie Bloom from Derry, New Hampshire. Stephen Blair from Scarborough raised $500 from Concentra Urgent Care. And Stephen Blair is a survivor. We also have Osra Reed from Gorham. Lindsay Brooks from Lionheart, Pennsylvania raised $360. Followed by Carrie Wren from Eastern Pennsylvania. Aaron Lamb from Wallingford, Connecticut. Lise Clucci from Green, Maine, coming up now on the finish line. And we have Megan Hill from Brownfield, Maine. Lise raised $180 for Team United We Overcome. Michelle Roxbury, Kim Emery, Ruth Sawyer from Peabody, Mass, Stephen Emery, Cody Sear. Michelle Roxbury is a survivor as well. Hunter Hamlin, Emily Party, Amelia Brown, Susan Salsa, Michaela Lorenzo, Cody Sear, Stephen Emery, and Ruth Sawyer. Ivy Moxie from Norway, Maine, crossing the finish line, followed by Jane Atwood and Trish Frederick. Trish raised $200. Leslie Carr, Aiden Barr, both from Monmouth. Leslie raised $160 for Pettingill Angels. Virginia Guancy from Lewiston, Andrew Hall. And we have survivor Alan Richardson from Williamsburg, Pennsylvania, crossing the finish line. Kylie Joe Lewis and Alicia Brown from Gray, Maine, raised $200. Tanya Watson from South Portland and Jim Watson. Peter Small from Wyndham, Maine, raised $680. Anthea Thorpe from Lisbon, Maine, raised $295. Tricia Susi from Lewiston raised $150 for Maple Way. Deborah Housley from Auburn, Maine. Madeline Zielinski raised $1,000. Amanda Winslow from Auburn. Caitlin York. Amy Myers-Delaney from Worcester, New York. Lisa Emmons and Michael Pelletier. Michael raised $500. Kayla Karen from Fort Kent. Gail Fortin from Sabattis. Stephanie Randall from Hoboken, New Jersey raised $590 for Team Sioux US UK. Kara Barnes from Lewiston, followed by Kelly Field and Lucy Charest from Lewiston. Rory Ledoux, Emily Van Dorn, and Monique Cody. Evan Bollier from Durham, Maine raised $212. Lindsay Bollier, Megan Paya, Brian Lee, Jacqueline Norick from Lakeville, Massachusetts. Brian raised $160. Autumn Jordan raised $115. Kimberly DeRozier and Sheila DeRozier and Kelly Dyer and Katie Dyer, all from Hebron, Maine. Ryan Lacasse from Auburn, Maine. Molly Vincent, Lily Vincent, and Rebecca Bassett, all from Auburn, Maine. Heather Marsters from Bowdoin, Maine. Candy Brooks from Buckfield raised $700 for Team Harvey Wallbangers. Christy Keep from Auburn, Maine, getting ready to cross the finish line. Elaine St. Pierre from Lewiston, Maine, raised $100. Sam Bickford raised $150, followed by Jolene Dowdy, who raised $370 from Team Mandy. Leona Thorpe from Augusta raised $1,145. Leanne Weston from Brunswick, Maine, crossing the finish line. Now we have Lisa Davis and Tamela Parody from Sabattis. Lisa raised $160. Celeste Ledoux raised $180. Michael Kevin Bolduc from North Yarmouth, followed by Maria Smart and Rob Smart and Peyton Winslow. Emily Potagorni from Waterville with Chris Lee and Rebecca Stowe from Belchertown, Massachusetts. Vanessa Pelletier from Wallgrass, Maine raised $520, followed by Melanie Billings, Jessica McVeigh, Kaylee Joe Began from Lewiston. We also have Vanessa Pelletier. Tricia Roderick from Gray, Maine raised $150. We have Sarah West and Caitlin Noel from Portland, Maine. Jacques Santucci from Portland, Maine. And Amber Oliver from Mechanic Falls. Chase Cook and Ryan Cook from Mechanic Falls. Diane Mace from South Portland raised $200. We have Larry Wadsworth from South China, Maine, raised $330 for Team Heartbeat. Justin Nadeau crossing from Auburn, Maine, with Michelle Byris and Audrey Frederick. Audrey raised $325 for Tom's team. Matthew Nakamoto from Honolulu, Hawaii, raised $150 for Bowdoin College. Amanda Zuhar from Brownstown, Pennsylvania, and Nicole Bushwell from Corinth, Maine, crossing the finish line. Now we have Jade Lawler and Lily Beauregard, Amanda Ray Peacock from Sedgwick, Maine, Wanda Harvey from Rockland, Dayton Crockett from Gorham, Maine, and we have Bruno De Maria from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and Meadow Road, Marcia Youngman, Abbey Road, both from Robingston, Maine. Howard Goldrup from Auburn, Maine, raised $295, followed by Jeremy Mears, Lona Farrell, who raised $360, Julie Burgert, and Jennifer Jacques from Lewiston, Maine. Crossing now from Raymond, Maine, is Jean Thornton.
Officer. My wife had surgery. We couldn't do the whole walk.
Morgan Pope from Durham, Maine.
Walk in. We got our badge.
Good job.
Amber Duguay from Yarmouth, Maine. And we have survivor in bib 1463, Hunter King, a survivor from Harpswell, Maine. Kristen Cody, Julie Wright, and Wendy Douglas, all getting ready to cross the finish line. Jody Heath from Goffstown, New Hampshire, and Deborah Coxon from South Paris, Maine. Robin DeJardin, Brenda Chacoin, Andrew Sharon, Kathy Starbird, and Renee Marcoux from Buckfield, Maine. Linda Arsenault from Lisbon, and Charles Tabor from Newcastle, Connecticut. Brenda Cozen from Scarborough. Doris Landry raised $1,800, and Kathy Browning, Ethel Landry, Debbie Burgoyne, Jessica Michoud, Connie Michoud. Connie Michoud is a survivor, along with Clarissa Perez, who's also a survivor. Heidi Neal from Rockland, Maine. Hey, there you are. There's Cheryl Ramsey, who works hard to put this all together. Heidi Neal, Alyssa Angel, Kendall Jackson. Clarissa Perez. Donna Arsenault. We have Kelly Smith getting ready to cross the finish line. And looks like we have mother and son. We have Jacob and Michelle Silver crossing the finish line together. Finn Brown from Gorham, Maine. Miranda Shirtliff, Kayla Cooper, Clara Wilson, Melissa Searles, Tara Turpin raised $2,710. Nicholas Zybert and Maya Zarbert from Albany, New Hampshire. Kelsey Gagne from Portland, Maine. Abigail Fuller raised $350. Kimberly Scott from Sabatis. Kristen Ash, Kylie Harn, Sherith Reyes, Giselle Paquette. We have a survivor. Giselle Paquette is a survivor as well. Ava St. Germain, Emma Shute, Dee Dee Stretton, Donna Demers, and Polly Demers. Polly raised $150. Abigail Blaisdell, Holly Riley, Andrea Pape, Christy Shields, Mindy Keene. Andrea Pape raised $250. She's followed by Susan Barbe from Wales, Maine. Cindy D'Agostini from Portland, Maine. Jessica Hutchinson and Casey Terrio. We have survivor getting ready to cross the finish line, Gino Finelli from Hope, Maine, along with Ginny Finelli, Edward Lawrence, Stephanie McIntosh from Grand Bay, New Brunswick, Amy Berschwein, Linda Pattern, Margaret Hickey. Margaret raised $215. Camden Beggs, Kristen Keeney, Dominique Lima, Heather Beggs from Portland, Maine, Jolene Libby from Turner getting ready to cross the finish line, along with Ashley Wright, Haven Murray. Ashley Wright is a survivor as well. Another survivor getting ready to cross is Bridget Ames, Heather Ward, Alan Ward, Kelly Rasick, Darcy Baudin, Haven Murray, Lise Couture, Ryan Conley, Jessica Arsenault, Mackenzie Gammon, and Brooke Bennon from Milton Township. Jessica Splood from Lisbon, Maine raised $1,150, followed by Deborah Higgins, Millie Butler. We have a survivor, and Jim Higgins from Plymouth, Math, Mark Butler, Austin Sullivan, Doria Crockett, Keva Crockett, Rob Crockett, Cameron Murphy, and Miranda Dufour. Right, coming up we have Rachel Parker, Brianna Karbowski, Suzanne McGrady. Getting ready to come through, we have Kayla Marshall, Michael Buzzle, Amanda Goodfellow from Lewiston, Nicole and David Belargeron from Turner, Maine, Sean Rasby from Nashua, New Hampshire raised $1,005 for Team Radiators. Amanda Doherty, Laura Doherty from La Quinta, California. We have Joe Doherty, Carrie Sejon from Greer, South Carolina, Milton Bowden from Anderson, South Carolina, and Alan Carter from Casco, Samuel Janes and Barb Bonetti from Windham, Maine. Jill Rivas, Daniel Sullivan, Lily Russell, Lacey Cowett, Tim Bernard, Donna DeBloy, Kelly Charity, Casey Correa, Mike Lynch, Lori Ryu, And Pat Rand coming across the finish line. Janet Eastman raised $545, followed by Jacqueline Kilbreth, Kelly Gallant, Laura Grant, Ethan Healy, who raised $4,935. Wow, great job, Ethan. Terry Burby, Kayla Burby, Amy Healy, Jane Hatch. We have survivor Jane McGuire and Jane Hatch both crossing the finish line. Stephen McGuire, Kayla McNeese, Jillian O'Brien, Simon O'Brien, Brittany Garusi, Lydia Landry, and Maddie Dubois raised $200. We have Anna Sweet, Denise Sweet, and Gary Sweet, all from Sabattis, Maine, followed by Susan Popish, Jane Connors, Vicky Tyner, who is a survivor, Pamela Farnham, another survivor. Also approaching is Eileen Fair, another cancer survivor, Lori Richardson, Ryan Cooley, Debbie Gorby, Kathleen Collins, Jennifer Collins, Tammy Peckham, Samantha Walito, Lawson Martinez, Lori Richardson, and Ray Cooley from Glensdale, Pennsylvania. Ray Jean Morin from Lisbon, getting ready to cross the finish line, followed by Diane McIntyre, Natalie Coleman, Britannia Julian, David Brackett, Kelsey Linnell, Jay Highland, Rex Teitchen, Evan Cox, Brooke DeRozier, Noah Cox, Chandler Coombs, Maggie Garfield is a survivor, along with Pamela Gray, a survivor, and Kim McGregor, another survivor from Lewiston, Maine. Rebecca Nuttall, Campbell Macklin, Melissa Jewett, Sherry Cavallaro, Joanne Bisson, Lynn Willette. Mo Galarno from Auburn, Danielle Lambert, Michael Karen, France Como, Julie Arbogast, Mari Waite from Lewiston, Maine, Sarah Elchin, Bernie Elchin, Desiree Zimmerman, Isabel Bruick, Ashley Tiberio, Delgan Fulgam, Ian Short, Allison Labby, survivor Kristen Short from Norway, Maine, Isaiah Short, Trent Newton, Allison Short, Christopher Short. Christopher raised $1,500. Casey Lewis, Susan Storer, Joe Spielvogel from Strong, Maine, $210 for inner cleavage. Oh, she just corrected me. It's almost $2,000 now. Great job. Thank you. Sharon Zuhar from Brownstown, Pennsylvania. Kevin Hunter from Lewiston raised $750. We also have Sandra Heaston from Portland, Maine. Gary Gosselin, Dot Morrow is a survivor. We also have Jeremy Dix from Litchfield. Heather Grant from Benton is another survivor. We have Donald Malpass, Rosemary Malpass, Lisa Marks, Sue Hansen, Todd Hansen, Caitlin Gass, Sherry Woods, Lisa Roy, William Chismar, Lynna Boyd, Young Shin from Springfield, Virginia, Hannah Johnston, Danielle Morin, Robin Ellingwood, Eddie Reno, Sean Hennessy raised $2,660. Lee Ellingwood, Jolene Danjo, Diane Labrie, Gail Hennessy, Sean Hennessy, Carrie Fallos, Nadia Batiste. We have survivor from Cumberland Forsyth, Deborah Anderson, also survivor. Jay Lord and survivor Sue Morse. Pamela Bois is also a survivor, getting ready to cross the finish line. We have Peter Bork, Wendy Benson, Katie Bedard, Survivor, Céline Gilbert from New Gloucester. Thomas Gilbert, Mark Gilbert. Carlene Morin, Tina Morgan. Peter Bork. Adam Barber, raised 190. We have Sandy Ward and Caitlin Dorian, Lauren Flannery, Sarah Hamill, Tana McFarland, Tina Magnio, Osa Brown, Christine McFarland, Vicky Rice, Gloria Rice, Survivor Sophia Poulin, Sonia Arsenault, Stacy Gilbert, Grant and Kylie Lufkin, Michelle Fortin Hill, Terry Cox, Amy Brown, Haley Marston, Survivor, Jonica Menges, Alwyn Guthrie, Robert Menges,